Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I'm going to share with you 5 hotkeys that are going to save you a good bit of time in the game, especially as you're navigating your PC and you're filling up all your boxes and stuff. These things are not going to sound like they're going to be that big of a deal, but I promise you when you're in here doing multiple things at once, as you get further in the game, it's going to add up. The time you save is going to add up. You're going to save yourself quite a bit of time using these hotkeys rather than navigating everything with right clicks. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, first up, we've got a really quick, easy one. They're all pretty quick and easy, to be honest. It is moving Pokemon from the PC into your party back and forth. Rather than having to click and drag and move them, you can just hold Control and left click, and it shoots them over to the first available spot. And same thing with Pokemon from your party. It just shoots them over to the first available spot of whatever box you have open. So this is a really easy way to move your Pokemon back and forth without having to click and drag. I have a box here called In Use. You can rename your boxes, by the way, if you don't know that. The T up here will let you rename them. So I have one called In Use, which I've kind of rearranged a little bit as I've been recording this. But I just started Unova, and I've never played Unova before, so I'm trying to do it with just Pokemon from there. So I just moved them over into this box, and then grabbed the ones I wanted to use for the last video I was recording. And then if I want my Kanto Pokemon easily accessible so they don't get lost in the mess here, I just shoot them over. Not shift, though, Control. I just shoot them over, and then I can grab all the Unova Pokemon. He might not be a Unova Pokemon, but anyway, that's not the point. Control left click shoots him back and forth between box and party. Much quicker. Another very quick and easy one is you've probably noticed by now if you right-click a Pokemon in your party, it brings up the summary straight away, right? You don't have to select it from a menu, whereas in the PC, if you right-click, you have to select it from the menu. If you hold Control and right-click, it just brings up their summary. Again, doesn't sound like it would be that big of a deal, but I promise you, when you get in here and you're looking around and you're trying to check everybody's moves and move items around and whatever it is you're trying to do, that's not having to select that from the menu every time is such a big deal in the long run. So Control, right click, summary comes right up. Next up is one I think you should be aware of. I don't know how often I would recommend that you use it, but it's one you definitely need to be aware of, especially with the Control clicking that's going to be going on. Make sure that you don't have Shift pressed too, because Control, Shift, and left click brings up the release option. So Control, Shift, left click is going to ask if you want to release the Pokemon, and if you're not paying attention, you might think it's asking, are you sure you want to move it or something, and hit yes. So just be real sure. I would recommend if you want to release a Pokemon, just right click it and go release. Just get into that habit so that that's what's in your brain and you don't accidentally speed your way through releasing a really important Pokemon. I've only been playing the game for a few weeks and I've already heard some horror stories about Control, Shift, left click. So I wanted to mention that one so that you know it's there and you can be careful of it. Next up, we have Alt clicking, which will immediately bring up the move to another box option, whereas alternatively, you have to right click, move to, then select the box. If you Alt left click, it just straight away brings up the move to another box. So for example, if I wanted to bring Kabutops with me and put him in my In Use Pokemon, I can Alt left click, move him over to In Use. Then I change my mind, never mind, go back to box 1. It's just a little bit quicker than right click and move to, right? Or drag into the party, go into the box, dragging back, all of that jazz. So Alt left click is a really nice way to move your Pokemon around. And then the last one that is going to kind of pair up with a lot of the other ones is holding Shift and clicking Pokemon will select multiple Pokemon at once, right? And then when you right click, you have the options, or alternatively, you can Alt left click and move them all, or Control Shift left click and release them all. You know what I'm saying? But Shift click lets you select multiple Pokemon at once, and then you can still click around. You don't have to worry about undoing your selection by clicking around or anything, which I think is pretty nice. If you want to unselect everything, up here there's an unselect all, the little dotted line box, you just click that. So there's select all, there's unselect all. And then if we select a few, and then we can still do whatever we want. When we're ready to not have them selected, bam. So you can select them all and then use all the other hotkeys that we talked about and really be efficient with the way you're moving things around. So as you get later in the game and you're renaming all your boxes and you got all this stuff going on, these will make it a lot easier for you to stay on top of everything and not spend, 3 hours organizing your boxes and stuff. So that's it. Hopefully it helps. If you have any other hotkeys that I didn't mention here that you want to drop below, I'm sure I'd be stoked to learn them. These are the only ones I'm really aware of right now. As I said, I'm kind of new to the game, so I'd definitely be down to learn some more. And other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope it was helpful. Looking forward to seeing what hotkeys I don't know about yet in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you later.